Okay guys, welcome back to the channel and back to the Putter Studio.
Yes, we're back.
It's been a while since we've been on the old Putter Studio, Matty boy. Not often we have a first in here.
Good point, yeah.
And we have a few of them in this.
Absolutely.
We have the first ever 3D produced golf product that we've ever tested.
Definitely, never tried that before.
We have a face technology that we've never tested. So I opened the boxes and pulled this out, read the blurb on 3D printed putter heads, and was fascinated to see that was the route they were going.
I didn't think that you could, one, use metal for 3D printing yet. I didn't know that was a thing yet. And I just didn't think that 3D printing was used in something like a golf club that would receive an impact.
Yeah.
I thought it was more for prototyping. So I was definitely surprised that this was a working club.
Yeah. I remember being at the PGA show, I think 2 or 3 years ago, and bumping into to Dr. Paul Wood. I think I told you this story, but I said, what have you been up to? What have you been working on? And into his pocket he goes, he said, well, I made this yesterday.
Right.
And he pulls out a putter head and a new kind of design concept that they'd been working on. And so they obviously, and other companies are working on these things more for, like you say, modeling and getting some opinions and thoughts, bringing CAD to life. But this is a retail product. This is actually going to the market. Yeah. You can buy this today.
Yes, you can. Yep, it was available as of last week, left and right-handed too. So it is a full production putter. I think what it seems like is the 3D printing technology was used to let Cobra do stuff that you normally can't do when you design. So it seems like just, I guess, the molds or how putters are generally cast, but even if it was forged, this kind of complicated lattice work and all the stuff they've done there, I don't think is currently possible with another means of manufacturing. So it seems like that has let them get more of mallet performance, MOI, out of a blade with that internal structure. And
you can really see how they've kind of engineered that into it. I mean, you can see obviously this is a lighter piece, so allowing the perimeter weighting to be very dominant, allowing the blade shape to perform and behave like a mallet. So interesting to see. I think when you look at it, it is definitely a unique looking putter. I don't know if it's going to be everyone's cup of tea when you sort of look at the design.
That's fair enough. Absolutely. I think behind the ball, though, at least it is quite traditional in that sense. Yeah. There's obviously a little bit of tech from address, but you're right. Most of generally the back badge of a club has sort of a logo and just like a simple milled back finish, and this is a little bit busier, so it might not be everyone's cup of tea.
Obviously, some kind of an offshoot from the relationship between Bryson with his Cobra main sponsorship and the sick putter that he uses.
That's right.
That's where the collaboration clearly occurs. So, a little bit about this face. 4 individually milled pieces or kind of areas with descending loft technology. That's the patented DLT technology that sick putters have. So 4 degrees of loft at the top, 3, 2, and then 1 at the very bottom. All designed, guys, to basically counter how much forward or backward shaft lean that you have. Right. So the amount of forward shaft lean that you have will be a large contribution to what portion of the head you strike it in vertically. So the more forward you lean the shaft, the higher up the head it's likely to be. Yep. So with the 4 degrees being at the top, or 3, if you lean that shaft forward, you're clearly taking loft off. Yes. It will offset the amount of forward shaft lean that you have. Right. And then the player who has backward shaft lean delivers the bottom of the putter to the golf ball. That's with the 1 and 2 degree loft. And that's so that no matter if you hit it a little bit on the bottom of the club, a little bit on the top of the club, you're getting the same, hopefully the same launch angle out of it every time? The theory. That is exactly the theory. So you can have 2 different deliveries and effectively the same result. Very cool. Couple things I guess we'll be looking for. What is the performance when you hit it a bit high and low in the face, but also the putter as a whole. I think the 3D printing was to get more MOI from twisting. So we'll just have to see how well it performs when we hit one heel and toe side. 100%. Pretty premium in terms of the price points coming in at $550 Canadian. It's up there, yeah. I wasn't expecting that. I'm assuming that because the manufacturing process is so new, it's kind of that much R&D and stuff has gone into the price of the putter. But you're right, it's competing with like Scotty Cameron and those. It's going to be a bit of a tough market. I'm sure limited quantities. It is for the process. Comes with Arcos built into the grip, which is fantastic. So let's give it a little whirl and see what we see. nice. Very nice.
It works. Should be better. Nice.
Okay, Matty boy. Obviously, we've got you putting. We're putting right-handed, so
Yeah.
we've seen a couple of things in your stroke and your delivery. The shaft is leaning backwards about 2 degrees. A putter with loft with backward shaft lean normally launches way up in the air. This is really not launching way up in the air. It's launching at 2 degrees, which is okay. Generally, where I like golfers who play on public golf courses to launch it is about 2. So there's definitely an offset on the launch from the face angle.
So it's doing a good job of just producing the launch you want, even though I added a little bit of loft to it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's decreasing your launch relative to your delivery.
Interesting.
Right. So our key in the next one, because you're spinning it back a little bit, because you're slightly down on it with loft, we want to almost try and get the shaft forward and then get the putter coming up a little bit, almost that little top spin forehand. That was nice.
Felt pretty good. I think I struck it a little bit lower this time.
The forward rotation.
Pretty interesting. You can see it come off the face right away.
We hit up on that one. I mean, that's close to my sort of optimal numbers there. 1.6 up, 1.3 leaning forward on the shaft. So we now launched that a little bit less. So this is more of your really kind of nice private club. Yeah, 0.6 launch, 63 RPMs of forward spin. Let's take a little peek at the impact ratio. I want to see how consistent that's been so far. Impact ratio has been really good. 1.75, 75, 75, 73, and 76. So we are looking for that to stay within 2 or 3 hundredths on that. So 1.7 something. So 1.72 to 1.76 would be a really nice range. You're pretty much in there every time.
So we could make the theory that the MOI of the putter is probably quite good if it's maintaining. We know for sure I didn't hit those all exactly the same, and the strokes might have been slightly different. Well, so it's maintaining the consistency.
Check out that club twist. I mean, 0.09 of a degree, 0.03, 0.02, 0.01, 0.09.
Wow, so the putter's not moving around very much.
I mean, either the putter's great, or you maybe need to think about putting right-handed.
Well, let's hit a couple more.
One of the two is occurring right now.
Yeah.
Lovely.
You can really see that.
Do you see you hitting it higher in the head?
Yeah. That image is great.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
You can really see that. 55 RPMs. Dude, that's wild.
What's going on with that stroke of yours?
I don't know. Well, you just told me what to do. I just did it.
0.0 twist, 0.02 on the face angle, upward 1.8 with 1.3 forward shaft lean. I mean, you literally couldn't give me better numbers. Impact ratio is right where we want it. I mean, if you were showing me that right now, I'd be like, that's your one. That's the one for you.
Wow, very interesting.
I don't think we expected this.
No.
I don't think we expected this.
Well, how often have we had 6 or 7 blue face twist numbers in a row? I don't know if we've ever seen that.
I mean, anything under 0.20 is considered PGA Tour tolerances. So you're right on that PGA Tour tolerance. And that was the worst one you've had.
It was, yeah. That is crazy.
Yeah, a marginal toe strike on that one. Very, very marginal.
Should we, I'm at the point in the thing where I think, should we try to mishit it a bit?
Definitely.
Would it make sense based on what they've done internally that this blade could have MOI higher than the shape would imply? Is that?
Oh yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It would be absolutely possible based on the way they've distributed the mass.
Because it's hard to explain, but when I'm stroking it, it's almost like if you closed your eyes, you would picture that there's a mallet there. the balance of it. You almost
yeah.
feel like you're putting with the mallet, but you're looking at a blade, which is kind of cool. Okay, pretty toey for sure.
Okay.
Probably half a ball width or so outside the center line at least, something like that. It didn't feel bad. It certainly didn't feel bad.
So you got 0.7 of a degree twist open. The result was still a very, very good putt. 1 degree of launch, 40 RPMs of forward spin. Those familiar with the channel will know that that's
good stuff.
Really, really good stuff. Impact ratio, you never really dipped at all.
See, that's amazing.
The ball actually ended up making it into the left half of the hole based on the fact it had a little bit of twist and curve to it.
It's quite amazing. So that much of a toe strike still made, what is that? Is that the 12-footer?
12-footer.
As toey as that felt, I can tell you it wasn't bad in terms of twist, but it's one of those putts where if you strike the putt, you know you towed it. You don't look up and expect the putt to go in.
Yeah.
You go, ooh, maybe I'll catch it on the edge, but for it to just go in at 12 feet is pretty stable, pretty solid.
I think that the impact ratio part was the bit that surprised me.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting. That's insane. I can pretty much say we've never seen that with any putter.
Yeah, I mean, you technically get more energy out of that than you did out the previous putt you got dead in the middle of the putter.
Very interesting.
Which is fascinating.
Because speed control is a little bit of the hidden forgiveness factor. You obviously want it to twist less so you don't miss directionally, but you also don't want to tow it and leave it short.
There are lots of giveaways, Matty, for what's going on with your putter. A miss on one side or the other, distance control, wherever that may be. Someone really being able to react to how consistent the ball speed is off their putter, that's not easy.
No.
That's not something, unless you've got a piece of kit like this, you're really able to see. Yeah. And even looking at the other putter systems out in the marketplace right now, this is called Quintic Ball Roll. This isn't, this isn't science in motion putting, so we're measuring your stroke. This is what does the ball do?
Yes.
When you're measuring that and separating that from the delivery of the putter, we're able to extrapolate whether the result is either good or bad relative to the stroke.
Correct. Yes, it's not using the stroke as a variable. Yeah, I'm with you on that. No, it's crazy interesting. Definitely didn't think that it would do that well in speed control.
I did not think this would do as well as that.
No.
Okay, I don't think either of us could have ever predicted that going that well.
No.
I don't know if we've ever seen a putter produce such, flatline numbers. The standard deviation was non-existent.
It really was.
On so many of those parameters. Now, you made a phenomenal little change halfway through that got your launch conditions in line. Your striking was good, but that little motion for you to be upward,
it was so helpful,
was really good. So once you get that shaft leaning forward a little bit, you did access the top part of that head.
Okay.
We could really see the difference in how that DLT works.
Because you started to get launch and forward roll. So I think initially, when I was delivering the loft a bit this way, shaft leaning back, hitting the lower part of the face, as you said, it managed it very well.
It did.
It wasn't launching 5 degrees and spinning backwards.
It was launching 2 with about 30 RPMs of backspin, which is very manageable.
It's okay, right?
Very manageable. And one thing I'll say on launch and spin when it comes to putters, there actually is no definitive research to say that, upward launch and forward spin is actually better than backspin. As long as you can do the same thing often and you know how to basically create enough energy for the ball to get to its target, there's actually very, very little evidence to show that you need it to be rolling forward.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect launch parameters like that. So the impact ratio then, to continue, that was so important. And I've never seen you pick at that and go, there's literally no difference. Like they were the same on every single putt. Non-existent.
The only variance was at times the speed of your stroke.
Yes.
The output, the smash factor, the efficiency, will you guys be familiar with us on quad, it was the same. It was the same. The same output ratio to the input speed.
And so, as we all know, speed control might be the most important thing to get fundamentally right. If you're going to putt decently and not 3-putt and stuff like that, speed control is definitely up there.
Yeah.
If you can at least with the equipment get your speed control consistent, then it's up to you. Then it's up to you to control your stroke, but at least the putter's not producing weird variances.
If I could recommend 3 things to do with a putter, it would be manage the face. It would be have consistent speed. The third thing would be a good green reader.
Right. That's the components of good
If you can do those 3 things well, and there's other things to become an elite putter, but if you can do those 3, You will be in the positive from a strokes gained perspective on
Yes,
putting.
absolutely.
With regards to this putter, it has exceeded our expectations. There is no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
It has a unique look to it. Neither of us have fallen in love with it, that's for sure. It's no Scotty Cameron work of art.
No, it's definitely very techy. I get why they've left the back open so you can see. You want to see the technology,
see the tech.
which I get. And again, it's not going to be judged initially only on cosmetics.
Yeah.
I do think at the price point for $550 that the next version, I think people will want it to be a little bit more polished looking.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, I think the technology, you'd agree, is good enough to justify a higher price point.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to see, a few of the design refinements we talked about. Just make it a little bit more traditional looking, but keep the technology in there.
Definitely.
Just a little bit more polished.
I wouldn't even call it criticism. That's our only thought with regards to
Agreed.
what people may not like about it. People may look at it and see that same thing.
Yeah.
Who knows? Others will look at it and go, that looks
I like
fine
the
to
look
me.
of it.
Quick note on the feel, soft.
Yeah, so I would say the feel is generally pretty soft and solid.
I thought it was very soft.
There are parts of the face maybe a little bit higher up that you may not find as solid. They feel a little bit more kind of hollow at the top of the face. But I would say overall it's a pretty good feeling putter. It's not going to be the best, but if you prefer a soft feel, then it might be perfect for you.
That'll be good. Okay.
Okay.
Guys, if you can get out and try them, I'm sure they're going to be pretty few and far between right now, not readily available in the quantities probably that they're being made, but would love to hear some thoughts on if people have tried it, what you guys think.
Yeah, and how was your ball roll and everything? How were your results?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, stay tuned for more in the Putter Studio. We'll see you again soon.